Most runners slow down as the finish gets closer. Tanya got faster. In this week's Parkrun progress report, we're looking at Tanya Winter's Parkrun, her 49th. She's now got over 50. But this was Hamilton Lake Parkrun number 625, back from the 13th of June. Let's find Tanya ran a 27:24. And my initial reaction to this is it is a really well executed progressive park run. When I look at Tanya's splits, I don't see someone who started too slowly. I see someone who gave herself every opportunity to finish strongly. The pacing tells a clear story. Splits of 5:40, 5:29, 5:26, 5:31, and then a 5:06 to finish. The overall pattern is very positive. After the cautious opening kilometre, Tanya gradually increases the pace through the middle of the run before producing a very strong final kilometre. That's often a sign of good self-awareness, confidence building throughout the run, and excellent energy management. The first kilometre was probably deliberate. The opening split is the slowest, 5:40. Some runners might see that and think she's left time out on the course. Maybe, but I'm not convinced because what happens afterwards matters. The pace steadily improved over the next 2 kilometres, suggesting Tanya wasn't struggling early. She was settling in. A lot of runners run their slowest kilometre and their slowest kilometre first and their fastest kilometre last when they pace well. And that's exactly what happened here. Now the fourth kilometre is interesting. There's a slight slowdown, 5:31 after a 5:26. It's tiny. 5 seconds over a kilometre is almost insignificant in a park run. In fact, it may simply reflect a brief loss of concentration, a slightly more crowded section, or just normal variation in pacing. I certainly wouldn't describe it as a fade, because what happens next completely changes the interpretation. The final kilometre is outstanding. The standout split is 5:06. That's 25 seconds faster than the previous kilometre. And on a flat course, that's impressive to me. That suggests Tanya still had plenty left physically and mentally. When the finish came into sight, she was able to respond, and that's a huge positive. Now, if we look at her cadence at the first kilometre, well, through, you can see it stays relatively stable, but at the first kilometre, cadence of 174 SPM. At the second kilometre, 172 SPM. The third kilometre, 170. Fourth, 174. And then right at the end, 170. And I really like this data, because despite the increasing pace, the accumulating fatigue, and then finishing strongly, the cadence barely changed. That suggests efficient mechanics, good rhythm, and no major breakdown in running form. Many runners start increasing pace by overstriding. Tanya appears to have increased pace while maintaining her natural rhythm, and that's exactly what we want to see. Now, where is the opportunity in Tanya's results or in her performance? The biggest opportunity may actually be in the opening kilometre. The final kilometre suggests there was still quite a lot available. If Tanya could move the first kilometre from that 5:40 to a 5:30 or 5:35 while still preserving her strong finish, there could be another meaningful chunk of time available. But I'd rather see someone finish like Tanya did than the opposite. It's much easier to teach a runner to start slightly faster than it is to teach them how to avoid blowing up. Now, my overall assessment, this is best described as a well-paced, progressive park run featuring excellent energy management, stable mechanics, and a very strong final kilometre. Tanya didn't race this park run trying to survive the final kilometre. She raced it with enough control that she could attack the final kilometre. And that's one of the best habits a park runner can develop. So that was Tanya's Hamilton Lake Parkrun, a really good example of how patience can actually make you faster. What impressed me most wasn't just the finishing time. It was the confidence to run within herself early, stay consistent through the middle of the race, and then attack the final kilometre when so many runners are simply trying to hang on. Remember, your fastest kilometre doesn't have to be your first kilometre. Quite often, your biggest PBs come from when your fastest running happens at the end, not the beginning. If you'd like me to analyse your own parkrun or 5K like this, looking at your pacing, cadence, heart rate, race execution, and exactly where your next improvements could come from, you can apply for your own parkrun progress report using the link below. Ka kite anō, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.